Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be reading some Am I the Devil? Do you like Am I the Devil? You know, Am I the Butthole is great and everything. And it's all fun and games to read about, someone saying like, hey, this has happened. Am I the butthole? And then we're like, no, definitely not. Oh my God, I can't believe that person thought you were in the wrong. But it's a whole other thing. And it hits so much different when it's some delusional D-head who's just absolutely the butthole. And I enjoy it. I like it. It's a nice, fun little change. So if you want to see some Delulu with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. One of you actually commented the other day saying that when I say, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, you say it along with me in the high-pitched voice. And I thought that was great. I am brainwashing you into the cult of void. It's working. But I will not give away any more of my secret evil plans. So let's get started, shall we? First up, trigger warning for talk of addiction, essentially. So, my fiancé sided against me in a family argument. She picked my sister's side over mine. I am second guessing our relationship now over this. My fiancé sided with my sister over me in a family argument and it hurts. I, 24M, will call my fiancé Katie, 24F, for this post. Our relationship was basically being blown up because we had an argument after she said my sister was right. Me and Katie have been together for almost 3 years. We have lived together for 10 months and we got engaged almost 6 months ago. We've never had an argument like this and now she won't even talk to me. The situation with my sister doesn't affect Katie or us together at all, so I don't know why this happened. I thought it was a given that couples side with each other and stay out of arguments that the other person has with their own family, but Katie has full out sided with my sister. After me and Katie argued about her not backing me up, she went to stay with her cousin. This is a time I really need her because of what's going on with my sister, but she hasn't been there at all. I'm second guessing myself if I should even marry her now. I just needed to vent somewhere since my fiancé has basically abandoned me. The entire situation hurts so much, and the crazy thing is I still miss her. I mean, no, couples shouldn't just blindly side with you. I would prefer to have a partner that's going to gently tell me when I'm in the wrong or tell me when they don't agree with me. How else are you supposed to evolve as a person? I, 24M, have 2 sisters, Jamie, 29F, and Rose, 28F. Jamie is addicted to drugs. None of us know how it happened. Jamie went to university on a scholarship. I'm gonna say D's from now on. No, that doesn't sound good, does it? Substances, because otherwise, again, if I say the word too many times, I've noticed that my video doesn't have a very good reach. So anyway, she was going to be a doctor, but after her first year of uni, she lost a scholarship and was expelled because of bad academic performance and other issues. She has started using substances during her first year of university. She would have been 18 to 19 years old then. In a way, I can understand how it happens. I hear it happens a lot, especially to people who are training in the medical field, because I've heard that medical schools are some of the worst for bullying. I don't understand that. You're supposed to be a place full of people with empathy that want to help people. I'm not in denial about Jamie having a substance addiction. Despite us helping her go for her rehabilitation several times, she has not stopped using substances. Jamie has turned into a person that no one recognises. She lies, she steals, she's violent, she's angry. Our family is desperate to help her. I've taken money from my savings to help pay for rehabilitation. My parents had to sell their house because of the costs. Other family members have helped. We just want Jamie to get better. I do think it's important to remember, though, that there is a big fine line between helping and enabling. My other sister, Rose, cut Jamie off when Jamie went back to using substances after her first time in rehabilitation. They haven't spoken in years. Rose is an engineer. When she graduated from university, she got a ring. The ring is given to all new engineers when their career begins. Last year, Jamie stole Rose's ring, and that's what started all of this. Jamie didn't find any other valuables and she wasn't able to take Rose's car since it's not an automatic. We all begged Rose not to report Jamie to the police. I offered to buy her a new ring and so did our parents. The ring is not even valuable or costly at all. I mean, how dare you? She got that for becoming an engineer when she graduated. It has value. Might not be monetary, but it has value. Rose opted to report it to the police and they treated it as a burglary. Rose was also angry at our parents because Jamie took the spare key Rose had given them and our parents never told her. The only thing that Jamie took was the ring and the key, but she was arrested for burglary and theft shortly after the police recovered the rings she sold. We were furious at Rose, but she said Jamie deserved it. I couldn't imagine calling the police on family, and Jamie has stolen money and things from me before. Jamie was originally released leading up to her case in court, but she has continued to use substances. She lied to the police and she assaulted 2 police officers. She committed other burglaries. If Jamie stole from strangers, my parents would deal with it privately, but the police intervened since Jamie was on release. She was taken back into custody until her trial. Rose took a contract job in the United States for several months because she was so angry at Jamie and us. She came back in January and now she testified at the trial and said things about Jamie that, in my mind, are unforgivable. My argument with Rose was over her calling the police and saying Jamie was dead to her, amongst other things. It's because of Rose that Jamie was convicted of several charges and was sentenced to prison last week. I'm so angry at her, and so are my parents. The police would never have been paying attention to Jamie if it wasn't for Rose, and it never would have led to the other serious charges Jamie got when she was on release. I've never been so angry in my life. Your anger is misplaced, my dear. Katie says Rose is right about everything she said about Jamie, and that I should have called the police about Jamie's theft or violence, and she would have told me to call the police if she had known about what Jamie has done to me. I can't imagine calling the police on family, no matter what they have done. I will always do everything in my power to help Jamie. I'm afraid Jamie will get hurt while in prison. It wasn't a good situation the last time she was there. She's not a fighter or a mean person. She doesn't belong there. Me and my parents and other family are going to phone her, write to her, and visit her as much as possible. But Katie is against that too. I'm not saying Jamie is perfect, but she's family. I'm angry at Rose, and I can't believe Katie sided with her over me. And yeah, I can totally see why this is in Am I the Devil? Like, yes, it's sad that people get addicted to these substances. Yes, it is horrible, and addiction is a true illness. However, just like any other illness, mental illness, it doesn't give you the right to treat the people around you like absolute dog shit. It doesn't give you the right to steal. It doesn't give you the right to be violent with people. And it certainly is not going to be helped by you and your parents brushing it under the carpet all the time. You're complicit in all her actions. You are literally greenlighting what she's doing and her behaviour. Why would she change when she has you guys going, don't worry, love, we'll clean up your mess? Like, why would she? I don't understand why you can't see why it's a terrible thing that you're doing. She's never going to get better because you guys are enabling her. Anyway, let's have a look at what people have to say in the comments, shall we? Then LitGeek70 says, if you think you are owed some kind of all-encompassing allegiance from your partner, get a dog. Couples have differences of opinion all the time. If you can't handle that, don't get married. Precisely. Bang on. And by the way, your fiancé is right. You and your parents are hurting your sister every time you get between her and the consequences of her actions. She will never stop using until she begins to feel responsible for her life choices. So this poster says, my 28M girlfriend 30F shares the toxic feminist views. Should I let her go? Hi, before I explain what I mean by toxic feminist, let me give some context on the situation. I've been dating this girl for 6 months now. Super sweet. I think we were a good match in terms of coexisting and living together. She stays over a few days at my place per week. She brings me peace, which is something I value a lot in a relationship. I always knew she was pro-girly. If you can't see, but I'm rolling my eyes at that. I'll explain why. Meaning she's all for girl empowerment, celebrating women and so on. That's totally fine. I encourage her doing that. She would tip more for women, watch more girl shows, follow more girls online, which seems pretty normal and fair to me. Now, there's a reason I'm rolling my eyes at the word girly here, because this guy is talking about why he doesn't like feminism, whilst using the very infantilizing term of girly, girl. And I feel like that's very purposeful, because it's often used when it comes to talking about feminism to basically infantilize women and then say, look, they can't have an opinion that's right. Look at how silly and small they are, you know? Words are powerful, and often they will tell on people without them even wanting to tell you their true nature and feelings. However, something came up this week. We were laying in bed and she was browsing Instagram Reels and ended up on a video of an influencer bashing the current trend of the manosphere, red pill way of thinking, etc. Fair. That it's all phony and that it's brainwashing a generation of men to think like that. It is. Which I agree with. It's garbage from social media. When I heard the influencer rant about it, I told her it's crazy how much traction the whole manosphere thing's been getting, comparatively to the propaganda women receive on social media. It's not comparable really though, let's be honest. Which prompted her to ask what I meant. Which brings me to the toxic feminist label, which I clarified by saying there's always been a movement for a while now of women preaching how men are trash. Bears are safer than men. That's so funny that the man versus bear thing has missed this guy completely. No one's saying a bear is safer than a man. We're saying with a bear, at least you know that you're gonna get eaten and that's it. You're not gonna get locked in some creepy ass man's basement and tortured for a month or so before he finally decides to dismember you and drop you off on the side of the motorway. Men are useless, so on and so forth. To which she responded, well, it's true though. I have a feeling that the OP's girlfriend was not saying that men are useless. I have a feeling that the OP has just sprinkled that on in there and made it sound like that's what she was saying. I was taken aback and told her I was very disappointed to hear her share the same vision as these social media influencers. We argued a little bit, her main argument being that you don't know the crazy experiences women have with men and how it can warp their perception of the opposite gender. Seems crazy to me to put a whole gender in the same basket just because of a few bad apples. It's not just a few. There's trash people out there, not just men. I finally asked her, you really think it's okay to say things like that and mean it? To which she said yes, and that I'm an exception, and that in her friend group, they joke about how their boyfriends are the exception to the rule. I hate to break it to you, OP, but a lot of men aren't good people because they're brought up to be that way. They're brought up by the patriarchy that we are definitely under, no matter how many times these blokes want to deny it. They are taught from a young age that women are things for them to have free will over. Women aren't allowed the free will. They are, though, and they can do with us what they will. When I was 8-ish, I think, was strangled by a lad in the cloakroom at school, and it only stopped because a teacher walked in. Don't know why he did it. Don't know till this day. All I know is his name was Lewis and he was a little prick. Violence against women is a huge problem, and it happens an awful lot, and it happens to most of us. I don't know a single woman who can't tell or recount at least once where a guy has been sexually violent. Not just violent. That's another level of friggin' depraved, my friend. Now, am I saying all blokes are bad? No, I'm not. Obviously not. That's not true at all. I know a lot of really great blokes. My dad's one of them. He's a great guy. Lovely little guy, bless him. But there is a lot of them that aren't because they're taught that they're allowed to get away with being that way. I told her to pack her things and that I'd bring her back home. To me, it shows a lack of critical thinking and a lack of accountability when it comes to who you tolerate in your life. Again, I hate that rhetoric as well. Oh, well, if women didn't want to be abused, then they shouldn't be dating these terrible men. Half the time, these sneaky little worms don't just come into your life and go, hi, I'm a terrible man. I will beat you. I will emotionally abuse you. Hello. No, they don't. They wait until you're about a year down the line and you're in the thick of it before they reveal their true self. A lot of them wait till you have kids or you get married and you're tied down and then they do it. That's not how it works, my friend. Now, are there awful women? Yes, there are. Are there really great men? Yes, there are. That's not what we're talking about here, though. We're talking about the atrocious percentage that aren't. I know some women have had no say in their interaction with terrible men, the same way some men have had terrible experiences with other women. But that all in all, it shouldn't have to paint a whole gender a certain way. The men close to me in my life are all people I look up to, people I see myself in. And I hate to break it to you, lovey, but quite often they don't just announce that they're horrible people. Some of those blokes that you look up to so endearingly could be awful people and you wouldn't even know it. We haven't spoken since, and honestly, I'm still shook. I'm very adamant on not associating with people that make up their minds like that, incapable of accepting the nuance. I'm thinking of letting her go, which saddens me, because otherwise I could have seen myself live the rest of my life with her. Not sure if I should make the move or let her reflect on it all to see if a change can be made. It's been 3 days so far of no interaction. I also love how he says incapable of accepting the nuance when she literally said, oh, her and her friend's boyfriends are exception to the rule. So clearly she does see a nuance. I apologise for the poor grammar. Good, you should, because that was hard to read. Edit. I would like to add that before all of this, I've never gotten the vibe that she was a man-hater or that she disliked men in general. She's not, though. Just that she was a girl's girl. Alien superstars, the whole bear versus men thing really triggered these dudes in an insane violent way that just proved the point, literally. And then AmITheDevil says, yeah, the worst is that as a dude, I would too choose the bear over a shit ton of guys, literally. And those guys don't understand the metaphor. See, this is the thing. A lot of the decent guys do also say, no, I get it. I too would choose the bear over guys too. Because it's not just women that men abuse. The guys that are brought up to be that way are not fussy. Legitimate ad 5727 says, I think I read somewhere where a guy asked men on the internet, would you rather be with a bear or Diddy? And all of a sudden all the guys in the comments chose the bear and understood exactly why the bear was a more sensible choice. And of course, not every man is Diddy. Not even every bad guy out there is at his level. But the idea that even the potential threat of that behavior happening to them made them pick the bear. Honestly, I think guys that live in the manosphere, though, it goes straight over the top of their balding little heads, bless them. How can you be this effing stupid, says the person who shared this post into Am I the Devil? Am I the butthole for telling my girlfriend that my favourite physical feature of hers is her breasts? Okay. I, 22M, was hanging out with my girlfriend, 21F, the other night, and she asked me what my favourite physical feature of hers is. I thought about it for a second and told her honestly that I really like her breasts. I didn't say it in a crude way, just matter-of-factly. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or make it a joke, just gave my honest answer. She got noticeably upset and later told me that it made me feel like I was sexualizing her and that she had hoped I'd say something like her eyes or her smile, something more meaningful. I tried to explain that I meant it genuinely, not as a way of reducing her to one body part, and that sexual attraction is a normal and healthy part of a relationship. I also think that being honest when asked a question like that should count for something. In a way, I do get this guy being a little bit like, what did I do? Because she asked. And wasn't really like, but don't say anything rude or like don't say anything like intimate areas. But at the same time, dude, come on, that is one of those classic questions that you don't ever say boobs for, okay? You say, I love your eyes, I love your lips, yeah, even your friggin' hands, I don't know. Something that shows that you look at more than just her nerps. She still seemed pretty hurt though, and now I'm wondering if I really misread the situation. On the one hand, I get that maybe I could have picked a safer answer. On the other hand, I feel like I'm being punished for being honest about what I find attractive in my partner. So Reddit, am I the butthole? Please share your age and gender if you're comfortable. I'd love to hear how different people see this. Not sure I like that. Edit. I'm only mildly on the autism spectrum for additional context. Edit. So a lot of people are saying it was a trap question. Yeah, kind of was. But I do want to vouch for my girlfriend here a little and say I don't think it was meant to be one. What she was upset about was the physical feature does not equal sexual, therefore she wasn't expecting a sexual answer. So then down in the comments, Mizushimo, why was that so hard for me to read? We finally found the guy who is responsible for writing the women who breast boobily down the stairs. We should take a look at men writing women subreddit, I think. I think that would be quite fun. Amalia M, I think, Amelia? I'm going to say Amelia because that's how it reads to me. Breasted boobily has taken up permanent residence in my vocabulary. Just this morning as I was pulling out a shirt. Yeah, I could breast boobily today. And then So Regular says, I love when I get home and can take off my bra and just breast boobily for the rest of the day. Literally, literally. But then you have the problem that it's like, oh no, now skin is touching skin and I have to tuck my t-shirt under there. It's like, we can't win, can we? The underwire is killing me. I don't like sports bras because sports bras offer no support if you are of the larger chested variety. You get home, you take it off, and then it's like, oh no, the skin has met and I don't like this feeling and I want to remove these things off the front of me forever. So I think we've reached the end of the video for today. This one was covering a couple of heavy topics now, wasn't it? I'll try and make sure the next one's a little bit lighter-hearted. I wanted Am I the Devil, not Am I the actual leader of the underworld, killer of baby children. Baby children are baby children. What am I on about? You know what I mean. Let's have a look at one of the comments from one of our previous videos. This is going back to the video that was on about like the cake and blowing out the candles and what have you. The one who, you know, shoved the woman's face in the cake like an a-hole. Katrina Kapoor says, RE cake and blowing out candles. In my family, I have sprinkles that I put in a fancy glass and we put the candles in that and blow them out. Then I just toss the sprinkles in a Ziploc bag and chuck them in the freezer for next time. That way, we aren't wasting sprinkles and we aren't blowing germs all over the cake we're about to eat. The kids love it and I think it's very fancy. Lol. Do you know what? I love that idea. I actually love that. Like, because I'm such a germaphobe. Like, when it's my own kids, I don't care. But when it comes to, like, going anywhere else, which I avoid as much as I can, but, you know, sometimes you can't, I don't want to eat something that someone else has been, like, over. So, yeah, I think that's a fabulous idea. Thanks for that. I'm stealing it. I hope you don't mind. So, anyway, if you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you very, very much. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions on the stories from today. I can't wait to read them. I really can't wait to read them. If you leave a little bit of a like and a subscribe, I'd appreciate you even more, although I bet because I mentioned the manosphere, I'm going to get some dislikes, which is, it's all good at the end of the day because it's all interactions, which helps me. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. It is late, and I'm starting to feel slightly delusional after recording this. I had to record this twice, by the way, because the first time I realised I rambled way too much, and I was like, no. There's rambling, and then there's that. I think it's because I was trying to be like, I was trying to show that when I was talking about the whole thing with the guys, I don't mean all guys are buttholes. But there is a thing where we have to accept that there are a lot of men that are brought up to be buttholes and think that they can do what they want to women in that context. But also that not all blokes are buttholes, because I didn't want like blokes who listen along to feel like I'm telling them that they're an a-hole and gross, because that is not at all it. I'm not at all. You know, there are many fantastic men out there. So, and I'm doing it again, friggin' out. So yeah, I'm going to rest my weary little head. Whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the day, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Goodbye.